Okay, so today is our second instructional of the COVID crisis instructionals. We're going to continue a little bit from the closed guard again. We're going to do a couple of sneaky arm bars. Okay, Us. So we're already here in closed guard, so we're going to start off with a cross grip. And then we're going to take a second grip that's going to go underneath his arm here, right? A horse bite grip. So I'm going to grab hold of the seam of his gi here, and I'm going to keep my hand underneath his tricep here, okay? So I keep his arm in position. So I'm going to hip out, and I'm going to put my knee onto his chest here with my foot onto his hip. This is going to stop him from moving forward, right? Gives me the opportunity to put this second foot onto his hip. Right, so I square myself up, okay? I'm going to bring my hips close towards his head, and then I'm going to squeeze my knees hard against his shoulder, okay? Right, so my hand's behind here, right, and my hand's already on his wrist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hip over to the right, and then I'm going to push his arm to the left. Very quick arm bar, okay? Okay, so it's a pretty simple arm bar. Okay, you can catch a lot of people quite quickly, but obviously if you've got a quite savvy opponent like Ian, or they're quite strong, they're going to defend it, and they look to put their hands together. So what we're going to do is look to counter that and turn it into an arm bar. We're going to start the next arm bar with the same setup. So we'll do a cross grip here, and then our horse bite grip here. So we go into our position here, okay, so we look to attack the arm bar here. Okay, so look, he sees it coming, he's going to come and pull his arm in here. So what we've already done here is we've actually pulled his elbow away from his body with this initial attack. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to dive my hand underneath his armpit, but I'm going to lock my arm over his wrist at the same time, okay? So I kick my leg through here, and I'm pulling on this arm here whilst I kick this up. I keep my elbow hard over his wrist, okay? I can bring my legs up into a high guard if I want to initially, okay? So I can lift my hips, do the first tap, pull hard down here, push his face away, okay? Now I've got his arm trapped completely underneath my armpit, and I squeeze my knees and I tap his arm. Awesome. Okay, right, so we've managed to do the secondary arm bar of the first arm bar. So we're going to look at doing the same arm bar but with a slightly different variation on the grips, and we're going to use the lapel for this one. Okay, right, so we're in the same position, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lapel. So I'm just going to pull it out slightly so there's a little bit of slackness in it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch it underneath his armpit and take the gi here, okay? Right, so as soon as I've done that, I want to grab into the inside of his elbow here so that I can pull this out to the side. So he doesn't pull his elbow back out of position, okay? So I can pull these two grips into position. So this needs to be to the outside, okay? So what I'm going to do from here is I kind of do like a karate chop and then take this grip onto the outside of his armpit, okay? And then I can take the second one as well if I want to, right? So that he doesn't actually pull his arm out from here, okay? So I set up here, okay? So I'm in that same position as the first arm bar, okay? So what I'm going to do from here is now make sure that I can get his arm underneath and then tuck my elbow over the top, okay? So now I can actually hold like two grips, so if he actually tries to pull away here with this grip with my knees, he's not actually going anywhere, okay? Right, so from here, all I'm going to do from here is a slightly different attack on the hand. So obviously because my hand is here, I can't stick it underneath his armpit. So I have to physically reach over to the top of his arm. So what I'm going to do from here is I kick through, catch his arm, pull it through here, okay? Now I could go into high guard, but it's not going to do the same thing. I can just rest in this position, right? Leg goes over, and then the same tap. So I need to make sure that my elbow is over the front of his arm here, okay? You can get to try and practice those techniques. Obviously, if there's any positions or techniques that you want us to go over, send us a message and hopefully we can go over that and sort all your BJJ problems out. Oh, I'm doing the flower sweep?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. That's my blow. I don't know
Sorry, mate, my bad.
I don't know what I'm fucking supposed to be thinking about. Okay, so this aren't oh, fuck it.